Musk interviewed yesterday before 3,500 investors, with JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon joining him. For an hour, Musk shared his vision. It was essentially a roadshow led by Musk before the company goes public. After hearing this, you'll understand what kind of company SpaceX really is, where it's headed, and what it's currently doing. Next, I'll break down everything Musk talked about in this session, point by point, to make it clear for you. First, why is SpaceX only going public now? For the past 10 years, people have been urging him to take the company public, but he never did. Because SpaceX has had positive cash flow since 2014, it really hasn't needed money. But here's something that goes against common belief. Outsiders think those past private placements were all about raising funds. Musk says, actually, it was about liquidity. The company was giving stock to every employee, and during those rounds, SpaceX was actually buying back shares. It let employees cash out, not for funding. So why go public? Musk cited an upcoming hyper-growth phase where high burn rates require market capital. He added that while past revenue fluctuated, he's now sure of future revenue. Next is Starlink V3, marking the hyper-growth phase. Musk aims for over 100,000 satellites, though only 10,000 exist today. V3 is 10 to 20 times more powerful than V2. The bandwidth is 100 times what it is now, but the latency is only half, because the orbital altitude is only half of what it used to be. Plus, the chip team specifically developed 3 types of chips for it, surpassing the industry's most advanced standards. They've also stacked even larger phased array antennas and used more self-developed lasers. For inter-satellite communication, they've adopted the W-band and E-band. Musk described it as being like a radio station in orbit. So why stock up such high bandwidth? The logic is that the future belongs to AI and robots, and a person's peak bandwidth is only a few hundred bits per second. Computers can reach trillion-bit bandwidths, and AI needs that throughput. Discussing bandwidth, Musk shifted to energy, noting ground-based plants are increasingly difficult to build. Doubling the US 500 gigawatt average would require twice the plants, which communities won't accept. However, space-based energy can far surpass Earth's capacity. Then he threw out that crazy number that humanity could increase the energy we use by 1,000,000 times. And even then, we'd still be using less than 1/1,000,000th of the sun's energy, because the sun accounts for 99.8% of the mass in the entire solar system. In his own words, even if you took everything in the solar system except the sun. Even if you burned up everything in the solar system except the sun, when you round it off, the sun's energy would still be basically 100%. Fourth, there's the bridge from Earth to the Moon and then to Mars. Computing power needs to reach into space. Musk mapped out a 3-stage route: Earth, Moon, Mars. He said that building a self-sustaining city on the Moon would actually be faster than on Mars. The Moon has no atmosphere and only 1/6 of Earth's gravity, so he came up with a wild idea. Because the gravity is low and there's no air resistance, you could actually use an electromagnetic railgun instead of rockets to launch AI data centers directly from the Moon into space. You could also use lunar materials to build solar panels and radiators right there on the Moon. He did the math and figured out how much could be done from Earth each year. He estimated petawatt-level power in space, and from the Moon, 1,000 plus. He added we should build a Moon hotel, the ultimate vacation. He compared SpaceX to the Union Pacific Railroad, when people laughed at building tracks to California, thinking it was impossible. No one was there. Now, Musk sees Mars as a planet ready for renovation. With similar gravity and a thin atmosphere, warming it up could one day create oceans and life, letting people walk outside without spacesuits. Fifth, Starship's reusability. Launched by Starship, which has flown 12 times, Musk says the breakthrough is full reusability. His analogy is spot on. Airplanes, cars, and ships are reusable, but rockets were traditionally single-use. That's why it's been ridiculously expensive. Once full reusability is achieved and you reach orbit, the only cost left is the propellant. Sending cargo into space will actually be cheaper than shipping it across the ocean by plane. The goal for V3 is to put 100 tons into orbit with full reusability. The goal for V4 is even more ambitious, over 200 tons per launch, with launches every hour. Sixth, in-orbit AI data centers. Many people think building data centers in space is extremely difficult, but Musk actually says it's much simpler than communication satellites, because at its core, it's just solar panels and radiators. Plus, with laser links, data can be transmitted back to Earth through the satellite constellation, and the connection stays up no matter the weather. The frequency band used for communication between the satellites and the ground can penetrate clouds, and to some extent, even pass through rooftops. Seventh, Teraf. After talking about American chips, Musk shifted the topic back to Earth. He wants to build a chip factory in New York, which we've discussed before. He revealed that no high-capacity memory factories exist in the US. Micron is building one in Idaho for 2028, and another in New York for 2029 or 2030. Even then, they will meet only a fraction of the total memory demand. He said optimistically, "Logic, storage, and packaging are insufficient. That's why Micron's valuation could hit $1 trillion. Demand is so huge that despite expansion, they can't fill the gap, so he's building it himself." 8. The AI strategy and group. Musk merged the group into SpaceX. The idea is to turn the space AI satellites into an open platform. NVIDIA GPUs, Google's and Amazon's chips, basically anyone's chips can be used. In the future, they'll also provide their own chips and AI software. In short, any hardware, software, or AI from anyone can run on the space AI satellites. 9th is company culture and talent. Musk said he was the 7th employee when the company started in 2002, and now in 2024, the executives have all had very long tenures. The CFO, for example, has been in the role for 15 years. There's only one core reason people stay. Everyone truly believes in that mission, to make humanity an interplanetary civilization and turn Star Trek into reality. The last point was about his own growth. At the end, Damon asked him, over these more than 20 years, how have you changed as a person? Musk said he's become much more relaxed than before. Then he shared some insights on recruiting people. Of course, ability and intelligence are very important, but having a good heart is just as important. If you look at this whole hour together, from 10,000 to 100,000 satellites, from lunar railguns to Martian oceans, from New York chip factories to space data centers, from harnessing solar energy to making Star Trek a reality, Musk, almost single-handedly, has laid out the technological blueprint for humanity's next 50 years. He's covered it all. While other entrepreneurs aim to build a company, he starts a business to put all of civilization on a new track. And the starting point for all of this was just 40 years ago, when his mother, despite everyone's disapproval, said, "I have a genius son." That's the end of the original interview. I've posted it in the homepage group. Follow me, and I'll see you next time.